Carre, small town outside New Orleans. Okay. Great view of this floor here. Oh. Ah. Couldn't keep it all together, I guess. Really lost a hold of herself. Whoa. Okay. I mean, is the chainsaw... Oh, they're... The FBI cutting her out. Okay. "88 hours later. Thompsonville, a suburb of Boston, Massachusetts. My God.
God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Quiet down? Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand, and a seafood-slathered Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The Regional Bureau Chief merely issued a special order.
Oh. Yeah. How could I forget? A special order to rob me of my well-deserved vacation.
You want pizza? I'll buy you some pizza. You can find that junk anywhere.
Whoa! Hey! Hold on a minute. What did you just say? Pizza is not junk. Pizza is a sacred food, bestowed upon us by God himself. You need to apologize.
Oh, I was supposed to
right
be
now.
walking.
This is sheer blasphemy.
Apologize to who? Pizza or God?
Ha ha! You think you're so clever. Maybe if you'd eaten pizza
Nope.
this morning like a decent person, you wouldn't have cut your finger.
I only cut my finger because I couldn't find a left-handed can opener at the hotel. Normally, I would never make such an amateur mistake.
Oh, really? Well, if you want me to get into gear, then just feed me some pizza, okay?
We must act unfaithfully and abandon our ideals again and again. We cannot advance from one
Are we
period of
really
life
having
into
this
another
philosophical
without causing
conversation
pains
about
and
pizza?
treachery.
Nietzsche, again?
Okay. Yeah, this game still runs terrible.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll strike.
Like a cobra.
And no red, remember?
It's open. Come on in.
Well, all that build up for... Come on in. Little cluttered.
You have questions for us? That's why you're here, isn't it?
It's Zach Morgan. This it goes from like super serious to swanky jazz music. Oh, see, I can move, but it only lets me move forward. The illusion of gameplay. Keep you immersed. Oh, music's great. And he's living like a college student. Smoking weed, eating pizza.
Mr. Morgan, before we
Chips
question
Ahoy.
you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak. Do we have permission to film this?
Aaliyah Davis.
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan? I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones. An analyst from the Boston branch.
Yeah, don't let him take control of the conversation,
He's
huh?
been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
Simon Jones. Hi.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break. Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game.
Wink wink.
Isn't that right, my fairy?
Dark laughter.
How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived. If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face.
Are you sure? Because so far he seems to be clearly in control of this little interrogation. Messy awards and trophies.
You solved many difficult cases across your career. Utilizing your own unique MO. You've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the Inside Out Flesh Skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, Inside Out Flesh Skinner case? That sounds, like a tale.
In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee.
The less interesting Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe
And also the
case.
stuffed human collector case in St. Louis that very same year. Then,
That's a lot of
in
high-profile
2005,
serial killers.
you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation.
I mean, that would
You
pretty
went on
much
to
set you
solve
for
many other
life.
cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really solve these cases all on your own? There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else.
exactly would you be implying?
How did you ever accomplish such monumental feats all by yourself?
That he was in on all of those? That's just silly.
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
Called her Mary Jane.
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial partner or an outside confidant?
Our partner is our partner. We've always worked together. Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives.
Never watched that all the way through. You can use visions to acquire important hints that will help you proceed through the game. Hold L to use vision. Using a vision will deplete your concentration, so be careful. Okay. Any... Nope. Nothing else in the room other than those two. Look at his indulgence.
Excuse me, Mr. Morgan,
You lighten up during a police interrogation?
but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... Yes, that.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please, put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
Who calls it that? Call it what it is.
What if we say no?
Oh.
Then I'll put it out myself. Using force.
Whoa, whoa, Aaliyah. This is Morgan's house.
Oh, look at all the milk cartons duct taped together behind him.
Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes.
We had to say this exposition here
And I mean, come on.
so that it would make sense for him smoking weed during
It's
this.
medicinal.
Oh, medicinal. There you
Exactly.
go.
Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
What are you talking about?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie.
Sexist.
The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society. Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew Then she lets off.
Very hostile.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head-on with questions then.
Usually
First, I'll
what
try
an
using the files on the
interrogation
table
is.
to shake him up.
Exactly.
Mr. Morgan,
Bacon eye.
may I ask you a question purely out of curiosity? If it makes you uncomfortable, just let me know, and I'll retract it.
Relentless, she said.
Belle, what's wrong? You sure put a lot of effort into that approach.
It's a question about death.
About this body?
Are you afraid of what's coming?
Think carefully about why we're smoking this, then ask us again. Honestly, we're not afraid. Rather, we find it intriguing.
Intriguing.
Yes. Belle, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
No.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold. Colder than you could imagine. A cold that no photograph could ever express. The sun, powerless, and the temperature drops below zero, right in the middle of the day.
Meaning?
Meaning, you can't really understand something until you experience it for yourself. If you want to learn more about us, you need to gain more experience, Belle.
An interesting take on death. Intrigued because he wants to experience and learn more about it. Finish chess game.
That chessboard looks rather old. And you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste.
Expensive chess set.
The weight
Carved out of
the
ivory.
just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No. But it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve
Who does
problems
that?
from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself.
You're right, you
When I
don't
was in
look it.
school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
Well, unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history.
I did, however, find some questionable searches for...
He was simply playing chess. All
All
alone.
So, what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no, everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Ooh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Le Carre, Louisiana in 2005?
We solved that case.
Well, that actually seemed to bother him.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Le Carre immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know.
Hmm.
If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Come on. No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means?
Seems like something somebody
That's why
would
we're
have
here.
found earlier. Just sat in a warehouse for 14 years? That
The
doesn't make...
first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it?
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
Couldn't have said that any guiltier.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case.
So he's like House. That's all he cares about is just solving the
Lisa's body
question.
can't change anything now.
Solving the riddle, and then that's
And
it.
It certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit.
It couldn't have been there the whole
Therefore,
time.
she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared.
That's kind of creepy, though.
In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks.
Okay,
At
that's
first
weird.
glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all.
Other than the being cut into little
She
pieces
looks more
part.
like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story. Yes. Yes.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents. A halfway finished chess game. I think he was playing both sides by himself. If it was merely for entertainment, it wouldn't be a problem. But I know that every action he takes has its own special purpose, especially now that his remaining time is limited. Who is it? This My Fairy character you
He
keep
told you
speaking
not to
to.
ask about the fairy.
You can't see her. Such bad manners. You barge into our apartment, yet you don't even care about who else is living here.
Dissociative identity disorder. In the past, it was known as multiple personality disorder. You were subjected to an internal probe only once during your career, correct? They suspected that you had DID, but you denied it. And no problems arose during your test. Is this how you dealt with the psychological profiler back then, too?
I feel like it would be hard to hide having that.
Saying strange things, weaving unrelated matters together. Is that how you slipped through?
You're free to draw your own conclusions, Belle. But my fairy clearly exists. She's been sitting right there on your lap this entire time. Hey! Stop it! No violence allowed in here, Belle. Wouldn't want to scare my fairy, now would we?
So she thinks he's like making it up, and then he says it's in her lap, and she freaks out.
Didn't so much as twitch when he saw the picture of the body. He's even tougher than the rumors made him out to be. But I was prepared for that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he solved an inside-out skin
And if my hunch
case.
is right, he's deeply intertwined with this case. Far deeper than what my superiors
Sounds
think.
like he's seen some shit, so a body chopped up in an ice cube, probably not a...
You may be
top of the
wondering
list
why
for
we
him.
decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
The moment Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course. We questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse, but we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
We didn't.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer, if you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
The person who originally admitted this report was his superior, Robert Abrahams, current chief of the Boston branch. According to Chief Abrahams, Morgan's got his own modus operandi. It's not something that others should interfere with. Well, Chief, look what that's gotten us into now.
Isn't there someone else you should have talked to before coming to us? Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week.
Oh,
We assumed you met with her
That's
during your
weird.
time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve. Which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. I'm sure Billy Bishop's a common name, though.
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries. And they always have the
Well,
most
not much to go
bizarre
on.
timing.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of '89 Cadillacs in New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere.
I mean, it's New Jersey.
Isn't that right, my fairy?
Morgan's right. Everything happens for a reason. Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it. Especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them.
That triangle on the table is bothering the hell out of me. We got empty box.
Poly MVA supplements. And a home IV kit. It's probably filled with highly concentrated vitamin C. He said that being on the verge of death is intriguing. But then why does he have such an elaborate home medical care setup? How does he truly feel? Do you like fresh vegetable juice?
Why would you think that?
There's a juicer in your sink that hasn't been washed yet. And do I smell the faint fragrance of baked beans?
He just dumps the whole electric juicer in his sink.
You didn't use much salt, did you?
What are you implying?
You just told me that you find impending death to be intriguing.
You drink juice.
That confused me. When I look around your room,
Wanna die, don't drink juice.
all I can see are the many ways in which you're resisting death. poly-MVA treatment, highly concentrated vitamin C IVs.
The whole vitamin C thing's a myth, by the way. It doesn't really help you, like,
Fresh
fight
vegetable
disease or
juice,
anything.
vegetable protein without salt. Gallons of vitamin D milk for fat and calcium.
Vitamin D, really good for you, though.
The ambivalence.
Get more sun.
Yes.
What?
Two contradictory emotions, mixing, coexisting together. An adult, mature mind is never satisfied with only one response. It's common sense. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I forgot how long these segments in the apartment are.
DVDs are all over the place. I know that he's a shut-in, but this still seems like way too many for one person. And I've never heard of any of these titles before.
I know, a lifetime of buying DVDs? It's not really that many.
A stinking indulgence. And a massive DVD collection. You must live a very comfortable life.
So he watches movies and smokes some weed.
Remember.
Get off his back, lady. What are you, a cop?
Retired in your 40s. I'm envious.
But who doesn't love movies, Belle?
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that won't do. You should dedicate all the free time you have to watching movies. It's practically an unwritten law. Films guide us. Films are filled with every important life lesson there is.
Is that so?
For example, They Live, 1988, directed by John Carpenter.
Seen that in a
That
long
film
time.
Taught us a valuable lesson.
'Cause that's the one with, Roddy Piper, right?
Always put on your sunglasses
Yeah.
before a fight.
You know, you've got a point. Movies teach us about everything we need to know. I learned about the right way to eat frozen pizza from Cobra. It's one of Stallone's best films.
Let's not go crazy.
Before that, I wouldn't be caught dead trying to eat
Cobra?
frozen pizza.
Yeah, Cobra's better than Rocky. Are you for real?
I thought it wasn't fit for human consumption. But that film changed my life.
Simon,
You know, that
has
doesn't
nothing to do with the film.
that doesn't surprise me at all that Cobra changed his
You're
life.
just talking about pizza.
This room's a total mess. But certain spots look perfectly clean.
Such a weird shape too. Like, what would be a triangle like
Just a
that?
Coincidence? No. There are no coincidences with this man.
Like a folded up flag, or my God, a slice of pizza. What it is.
Mr. Morgan,
That's why he got so weird about the pizza.
I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see.
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon. Don't touch the sanctuary.
Sorry.
Sorry. My bad.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again.
Ooh. Got him quite
You've been
upset.
watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
4 years. Good lord.
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Crossword puzzles? No way.
I'm a Sudoku man.
Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Oh god. I got it.
Agent Jones.
Nailed it.
Oh, right.
How
He's
insulting.
completely taken
I
control
play
of the
crossword puzzles.
conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more. Agent Jones. The briefcase isn't even that big. How long does he intend to keep that up? Does he have pizza menus stuffed inside there or something? Agent Jones? Did you find the files?
Greenvale case files. That was the town from Deadly Premonition 1, I believe.
Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
I'm gonna have to
Let
break
him
your
go!
arm.
Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of
told you.
justice.
We told you. Go. Ah! Stay back. Stay back.
What happened to her hand?
Sanctuary. Stay. Stay back.
Is he having a stroke?
Ah!
Oh.
Ah! Yeah.
Mr. Morgan?
Now he's going feral.
I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through.
Oh, the red. Oh, okay. That's what they can't have red around him. That's right.
Everything should be fine now.
Could you at least put on the other glove? Because
Sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition.
having the one glove on Bob.
The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear. Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too.
1 minute she's like super hostile, and then the next
I
minute
don't know
she's
what I was thinking.
like the complete opposite.
I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red either.
Don't ever touch one again. I told them not to. Why would they do that? Make them go away. Sanctuaries. Don't touch. Stay.
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry. I won't let them touch you again. I'll keep them away from us.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red.
Yeah, we got that.
And I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville case. The files on the serial killings that shocked Washington State in 2010. Officially titled the Greenvale case. I never thought I'd take out files from a case I first heard about on the news.
This game takes a
Mr.
while
Morgan?
to get started. I forgot about that.
I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered, and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
It's all some
That's a
shit,
private
lady.
matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What?
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Luke Carre case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
Whoa. Whoops. Accidentally hit L.
A jar of honey with honeycomb inside it. There's nothing strange about it, but it still gives me a weird...
That's royal jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you? Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside?
I find it strange you just have a jar of royal jelly.
I wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state. The queen's main food source, created from the worker bee's secretions. It's a perfect food, filled with power, meant to fuel the birth of the next queen. By absorbing it into our own bodies, we too can acquire that power. Incidentally, did
Bee
you know
power?
that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate.
And then they kill them, don't they?
And they're born from unfertilized eggs to boot. They have short lives and don't even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance
Oh,
to
boy.
do so.
Here's a can of worms.
If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe.
And men don't even have stingers anymore.
Be careful, Simon.
Huh? Of what?
Your bell's already stolen the reins from you.
Looks like another old antique. He collects milk cartons but treats valuable antiques like trash. What's going on in his head? The silver clock in that trash pile.
That's right. John Harrison's fifth chronometer, completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him.
Well, that board of longitude will
It's
get
only
you every
a replica,
time.
of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. Prime fruit of the human race's intellect. We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in these.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
They're almost as cool as pizza and Sudoku.
I disagree.
I hate clocks.
Oh?
Clocks are the devil.
Why?
Such an
Time is
interesting
valuable
dynamic these two
precisely
have.
because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays, people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Talk about idiocy.
I'm above time myself.
I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone. We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
What if it's cloudy or storming?
Or you're indoors.
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Hear that, my fairy?
And back then, people used to die when they were 25, so, you know,
Courage and a love
maybe
for
clocks aren't a
adventure?
bad thing.
Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing. What the heck is that? I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst, remember?
No, I forgot, actually.
I just sort of can't remember it right now. I know what it is, really. I'm telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here. Aaliyah?
A picture of a leaf. This isn't just a picture of any leaf. It's the most important leaf. The belief in truth begins with the doubt of all truths in which one has previously believed. It's time to get down to business. Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan. This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Lucare case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree. Red tree.
Red tree.
Yes, a red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case. They're connected by these red trees. Aren't they?
Red trees. Both places. Growing. Roots. Seeds. Trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees. Figured it out.
Figured it out.
Yes. Smarter than we thought. Connection. Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now? I want to know what went down in Le Carré in 2005.
Fine.
Oh.
We'll tell you.
Oh, that guitar.
We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes. It was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers.
Oh, now we got some sax in
It all
there.
started back in that sweltering summer. We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.